Hare Krishna Prabhus. I'd like to introduce you to the latest Vedic chart that's been produced and it's available on Jagannatha Enterprises. It's called the Six Philosophical Theories attributed to the Vedic scriptures, otherwise known as Jnana, Vaishesika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. Of course, our Hare Krishna movement, it comes under the branch of Vedanta, which is then further explained over here, and how it evolved through these different generations every couple hundred years and landed finally with Lord Chaitanya's Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So the chart is completely illustrated, and all knowledge, of course, as we know, comes from Krishna, who then Puranadarshai Vishnu expands, and then ultimately in our universe, Garbhodarshai Vishnu, who then Lord Brahma comes from his abdomen. And then eventually Narada Muni is there, and Veda Vyas, and then the four Vedas are authored, and eventually Srila Prabhupada gave us the great translation of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and Sukadeva Goswami and Sutta Goswami. So this chart, which is available, in order to make this available at an economic price for everybody, I had to do some tricks with the printing department in order to not have extra charges for oversized printing. And I printed it in two pieces. That also makes it easier to mail. And in order to have the finished product, which you see here, what we have to do is we have to join the two pieces together. And I'm going to quickly show you how we go about doing that. You can see here are the two pieces of the chart. This is the way they will be available. I can put them together for people who would like me to at a little bit of a higher price for the time that's involved. But it's actually very easy to do. And so I'm going to show you now how you do this. All you really need is a pair of scissors, which are even optional, is tape, the magic tape, which I have some here in this dispenser. And if you have it, it would make it easier to do if you have some masking tape or a version of some kind of painter's tape. This kind of tape is specifically useful because it doesn't stick to the paper so well, and we don't want it to stick permanently. So the first thing you do is you take the left side of the chart, and this is not even necessary, it's an optional thing. But you take your scissors and you cut this thing right along this line here where you can see the chart is done. And the reason why we're doing this is because otherwise it's an unnecessary disturbance to try to get all the letters to line up. And you just take this little tiny piece here and you cut it off like that. And then we take the two halves of the chart and we line them up like this. And I'm going to do it like this. I think it's the easiest way. You want to have a nice flat surface to work from. And you just take the left side of the page and you line it up. So you want to zoom in on here so you can see how I'm going to line it up. And you're going to see where that part is I cut. You didn't really lose anything because it's already overlapped enough there. And you take a little piece of masking tape like this, and when you've got it lined up, you just tape it like that, and then you come to the other end over here, and on this side there are a few words you need to watch, so you just look right there and you just get it lined up perfectly like that, and then you take another piece of masking tape and you tape it over here at the end like this, and I sometimes put a piece in the middle. Like I said, masking tape, you don't have to worry about it because it doesn't stick to the paper. And so now we basically have it all lined up. What we do then is we carefully turn the whole thing over and get it so that it stays flat like this. And then you take a long piece of your magic tape, I guess they call it, and you stretch it out like this. And you put it right over the seam very carefully. And well, I've done this a lot, so I know how to do it. It might take a little work. You start in the middle and you push it out from the middle so there's no bubbles like that. And as long as you've got it on both sides of the page, there you go. And then it's not absolutely necessary, depending on how you end up wanting to mount this, you don't really even have to put a piece of tape on the front. However, I do it because I just had experience. You can't really see it. Take the masking tape off like I'm doing like this. It makes me feel a little more comfortable that it's taped down on both sides. And again, you'll see there's no sticky on the page because the masking tape, that's why it's referred to as masking tape. It comes right off. And then you take another piece of tape like this. These dispensers are very handy. And if you don't have it, have somebody help you. Help have somebody hold things for you. And again, it's very hard to even see where the seam is on this side. Your eyes fool you. You just very gently lay this right on top of the seam so it's half and half. Again, you start from the middle and you work your way out so there's no bubbles. And now the finishing act is to just take your pair of scissors and you just simply trim the little leftover that's hanging over the edge there and the little leftover that's hanging over the edge there. And with this magic tape, I find sometimes you can sort of see it a little bit if you really work it down onto the page. And that's the only place you even really hardly see it at all because it's a dark surface. But otherwise, as you can see with the finished product, we now have the entire chart, and you can then either mount it, have it framed, do whatever you want to do with it. But that's the trick for completely mounting and showing your chart. And I'm encouraging people to put these up like in the temple Prasadam hall or some places where the public can see it, because it really is the magic of what Prabhupada gave us, is the whole science of the Vedic philosophy and all the different branches. And like all the other charts, they're all cross-references with the actual place where the information came from and all the details on all of these subjects so that we can speak about them with some knowledge and authority. So thank you very much, and we hope to see you all at Jagannatha Enterprises.